What's up, everybody? Welcome to those guys from Wichita. My name is Conrad, and how are you, buddy? Going to be kind of a different show tonight, if you can't tell already. I would say it's the first show ever done while plowing snow, but I did one earlier today. So it's the first video show ever done by plowing snow or while plowing snow. So we've been after it. I'm sure most of you know, if you've read any of the news today, there's a big storm system. I'm sure Jim Cantori's hanging sideways off of some sort of stop sign somewhere in middle America, trying to prove how hard the wind's blowing. So community members of that town don't have to go outside and hang off the stop sign to find out themselves. But so we got called in to battle this storm on the Bible Belt. I don't know what they're calling it. I'm sure it has a cute name. And we got in last night about 2 in the morning is when we started plowing, and it looks like it's going to be quite the little late night for us tonight too. So trying to scrape all this ice up to make it safe for these people at this business to, get some work done. Guys got to get out. Listen, get out there and work, okay? We don't understand why everybody's quitting. I know it's 12 degrees and none of the roads in this town are plowed, but you got to get out there and work. We pay you guys $13 an hour to risk your lives to go to your job, feed your families. You know what I mean? So I'm not complaining, though. I mean, clearly this is how I make my living, too. This and selling my body. So the other guys, I reached out. I didn't know what we were going to do tonight because, one, I'm not anybody's dad or anything. I can't tell everybody, here's what you do. I am two people's dads, and I can kind of tell those children what to do. But they're 7 and 9, so even that rope is getting pretty short. So when I'm dealing with other guys who volunteer every week their Wednesday nights to hang out and tell jokes with me, I can't be like, hey, by the way, guys, I'm not going to be there because I'm literally, making billions of dollars. And so you guys go ahead and do the show, take it over for me, get on a snowmobile like that dude from Tread and drive down to the studio or whatever, get in your car, get in your rear wheel drive truck and drive down and, maybe careen into a tree or a church on your way. And thank you, So, and Shannon, who knows? I mean, he could be bunkered down. He's down at Random Dude Ranch just trying to stay alive right now, dude. I'm sure he bought a few 2x4s the other day. He bought six 10-foot 2x4s. I'm sure he's had to chop those up and throw them in the fire pit inside the house. And probably got 100 electric heaters and electric blankets going. And so he's just trying to stay alive, and so he wasn't going to come up. And so you were left with Casey and Skinman and Smoothie, and Skinman was a maybe because his kids are old enough to where, had he left and not come back, they would miss him. Of course, they love him. It's their dad, but on the other hand, he's taught them all he can at this point, if we're going to be totally honest. Casey's probably feels like, as I say that, like he's in the same boat. Yet I worried about Casey the most just walking from the house out to the shed, the studio. I mean, if you haven't been following along at home every week with the show, we watch that man's legs sit there and deteriorate. And so to ask Casey to be like, Casey, put on like snow boots, I don't know if he could lift him up, lift his legs up to walk through the snow. And Eric he said that he'd come hang out with me, and we probably could have done some version of the show inside the truck here like I'm doing now, but I'd have to move a lamp and a piano and everything else I have in here that's still stuck in here from our move down to Oklahoma, which, and in most people's eyes, it's pretty complete, except for this waterhead, because I'm the one who gets in this truck and looks around and is like, where do I put this stuff? So I guess in this truck, I'll park this truck next to our house and use it as a storage unit / my only mode of transportation. So anyways, that's what we're doing here. That's why it's just this dumbass that's streaming live to you. We're not going to be on Podbean tonight because I guess I had to make the choice. I could stream live here on Facebook and all the other YouTube I think it goes to, and it's just some service that I pay for that streams to multiple outlets. And fuck off if it doesn't sound good. I'm in a piece of shit. I didn't mean to say that to you, baby. I'm in an older truck that literally it is. I mean, it got hurt. It got hurt yesterday. This old truck, much like Bob Vila's This Old House. Gold Thunder, my beloved 2000 F-150. I thought this pony was ready to ride, and I've been using it on a daily basis. One thing that I hadn't tested out in quite some time is the four-wheel drive. I haven't engaged it. I've clicked it into pursuit mode multiple times. That works fine. You're gonna hear a lot of that too. Hopefully not too much, because then the whole front end of my truck will rip off. I know pursuit mode works still, but I clicked in the four-wheel drive, and I don't know if this truck is old enough, and I don't want to look, and I don't want to touch it. It's kind of like when you have a laptop that you have to leave plugged into the wall in order for it to keep going, and there's always that moment where it's like, hey, Dad, can I borrow the laptop? It's like, yeah, son, sure, but just let me save that document. Oh, and they like yank it out of the wall, and it dies, and you lose that novel you were working on. It's like, I finally started my novel, babe. I got 37 pages done, and I'm just getting ready to hit save, but I wanted to stir the spaghetti first, and damn it, little Johnny came in here, and he was gonna borrow it. I said it was fine, but before I could finish, he ripped it out of the wall, and now my erotic fan fiction is my erotic fan fiction novel of Everybody Loves Raymond is gone. My sex stories of TV's Becker, I can't rewrite that. That's pure creativity. I can't do that. So that's what this truck is, because I clicked it in the four-wheel drive and there was nothing, which luckily it's not the first time. It's kind of like if you're a paramedic or something. If I was a paramedic, which I don't know, my hips aren't flexible enough to twerk my way to that job. But if I somehow was able to do yoga for a couple of years, get my hip flexors back in operating order, I would be able to be a paramedic, and I would twerk my way into that job. And if some, Ebenezer Breezer was laying on the ground having a cardiac arrest or something, or got hit by lightning or some stuff, and I had to get those big ass paddles out, those life paddles that you rub together and then stick on a dude's nipples, or well, I don't know where you do it on. I don't know if you do it to women. I've never seen a woman get jump started, so it might be. I think they stopped jump starting women after the Me Too movement or something. You can save their lives as long as you don't give them mouth to mouth or those jump starter pads. So, like, if a woman is choking, you can save her life. That's still allowed, kind of, except for you have to. Actually, I think you have to let them do it on their own, because you can't get behind them and wrap your arms around them and squeeze at their navel. So that's just one of the consequences, and sometimes we don't foresee those guys. So I just chew carefully if you're a lady out there, and I wouldn't swim until you waited 30 minutes or so, because if you're drowning, there's nothing we can do anymore. And maybe they can if there's another woman, but even then I'm not sure the rules. I haven't checked I got to call Jungle Law on that to see what the rules are to save a woman. But, if you are going to save a person, specifically a man, for now, we'll just use that as an example. You don't just hit them one time with that heart Kickstarter. You know what I mean? You sit there and you got to kind of work up. The heart doesn't just get a jolt even if you've ever watched a heart transplant, like sometimes if every once in a while my wife will, and it's rare. We've been married for quite a while, and each day that passes, it's like the first day we've been married. You know, that's the cool thing about it. You know, a lot of people say it feels like we've been married forever and stuff like that. That's not at all in any way how I've ever described matrimony. It's nothing like that. Each day is like, I'm excited. I wake up, I'm like, who the fuck is this? This is my wife? Holy shit, this is awesome, you know? And sometimes because I got married to that person, she will she'll be in the mood maybe to, and every once in a while when you see the light flicker, dude, every time I press the button on the plow, it shorts out. I thought about not having it on, but I didn't want to look like the Grim Reaper or something, you know, the man in the shadows or whatever. I still do, but forgive me. I haven't slept in a couple of days, and so just bear with me here. But every once in a while, my wife will send me a text message, or she'll whisper in my ear, or give me a hug, especially long, more intimate hug than a normal hug. And you know that it's business time that night, right? You know that you're going to get into business time. There's a plane coming in here. That's why I'm in this spot. Some hotshot lawyer out of Dallas is coming in, I think. So I got to get this thing cleared as much as I can off. I forget where I was going with all that stuff. Anyways, I think it was just a way to talk about how much I love my wife. I think. I don't know. I totally forgot. You're gonna get a different kind of Conrad tonight. You'll get snowplow. If you've heard our other shows, you've heard of the new Conrad since last show is Laser God, because I recently played laser tag. But the Conrad now is snowplow Conrad. So it's been a late night. I don't know. I was gonna try to transform. Okay, I got you. I know where I was going. I think I know where I was going. So because I'm in marital bliss with a beautiful woman, and it's been so long, when the rare opportunities arise, you know, you got to be ready for them as a husband to fulfill that duty and that booty duty. And the truck is the same way. The 4-wheel drive on this truck is the same way. And the problem is, I'm a neglectful truck lover when it comes to that, because basically on an off-road vehicle, an off-road equipment package equipped vehicle, much like this truck is, you can't. That's the truck's genitals. If you buy a sports car, like if you're lucky enough to be able to buy a brand new Corvette, you know, if you're lucky enough to have $175,000 to spend on a vehicle, whether it be a Ford F-150 or a brand new Corvette, because I guess they're the same price now. But if you're lucky enough to do that, the paddles on the steering wheel are the genitalia, or the stick shifter. If anybody can still drive a manual, if Corvette still makes that, I don't know if they do, but that's the genitalia. You have to put it in sport mode every now and then, otherwise it will forget, you know. And so when my wife gets into sport mode, I gotta be able to do that, but she won't neglect me as long as I neglect my truck. And so yesterday night, when I clicked it into 4-wheel drive, there was nothing. Like I said, I've been there before, you know. Basically, there's a series of moves, and that's the kind of thing that you learn. Kids in the future kids. So I guess babies now don't have to worry about this. So if you're a baby that's watching this, tune out. You know, this does not apply to you. All my baby listeners can just chill and, you know, go back to regular scheduled programming. But if you are poor, you're in the right place. And if you drive an old piece of shit vehicle because you can't afford an $85,000 bone stock F-150, you're definitely in the right place. So what happens is on an older vehicle, there's always like a series of notes or something that you have to have in order for it to operate. You know, like I said, future kids don't have to worry about it because they'll just get in their little space pod, you know, their electric space pod, that's powered by coal electricity, or, you know, whatever. They'll go save the planet by zipping to Zoom school in their space pod in their pajamas, you know. And when them are zipping around to get their critical race theory education, you know, they don't have to worry about, like, on this truck, people be like, hey, can I take your truck to the store? And I'll be like, yeah, but you should know. And then it's like, don't grab the shifter like you would normally grab a shifter. It's broken in half. It's duct taped together. Grab it at the base, and then you got to kind of wiggle it out and then put it in gear. When you put it in D, you're actually in N. You know, you're actually in N mode. You don't want to be in N mode ever. You know, if you're a future broadcaster, stay out of that zone altogether. That's just a recommendation in any aspect of your life. But you don't want to be there. So you got to put it in 2 to be in D. You know what I mean? So, you know, and the locks on the door, they work. Don't use them because they only work if you're in the vehicle. You can't unlock it from the outside for whatever reason. I don't know. There's just a tremendous amount of rules that come with owning a piece of shit, which all of us poor people that work, you know, multiple jobs have to know. That's something we all have to know on our vehicles because we can't afford new ones. And so when this happened last night and my truck did not go into 4-wheel drive when I put it into 4-wheel drive. In fact, it did nothing. I said, oh, I've been here before. You have to shift it like all the way into first gear and then into neutral, and then turn it off while it's in neutral. Turn the ignition off while it's in neutral, and then click it into 4-wheel drive while it's off, and then click the key on, and then it will recognize that it's supposed to engage. You know, it overrides pursuit mode, so to speak. And then it'll get into 4-wheel drive. Well, I did this, and baby, I hit the ignition, and she just lurched. She was Dr. Lurch. Like, I found a secret ultimate transmission, like it's got a built-in one or something, and I engaged into that. My engine bypassed its transaxle and just like completely locked into some sort of coupler under there that somehow is related to my speedometer. And there's this horrible whining noise that you kind of hear throughout as I drive in 4-wheel drive, and I don't want to take it out because then I really don't know what happens, you know. So I've been driving around like this and I don't want to shut it off, you know what I mean? So it's just been running since I left Slaughterville, Oklahoma yesterday at like 5 p.m. It's just been on. It's been doing great though. It's just been on though. So I'm proud of it. I just like the laptop though, I'm afraid that once I turn that damn 4-wheel drive thing off, you know, we're gonna get into a pickle. Then I won't be making any money, and I'll be, you know, paying a tow truck, or let's be honest, I'm just gonna light a Molotov cocktail and throw it in the seat and like do like a 21 gun salute or something to this thing if that happens, you know. And then I'll call my Geico or whoever I got. I don't even know. I think it's insured, you know. How much insurance do you have? I think $1 million. Is it $1 million? I think I have $1 million. I'll take it in quarter. It doesn't matter. However you want to send it. Just got to replace it, you know. I don't know if you've seen the cost of trucks these days. So, got to replace it. What is it, a 2000 F-150? Yeah, those are worth $35,000 right now. Worth more than they were new. How many miles does it have? 284,000? Yeah, those are worth $45,000. So we're going to write you a check. Good luck buying something, but here's your check. So that's where we're at with Gold Thunder. And that's where we're at on this journey. Not the Great Man Journey. I haven't listened to them all day. That's what I do when I get really tired. I start listening to Journey. And it's like my mind just melts. It's like, are you laser tagging right now? Like, why is Journey? Oh, dude, you're in snow mode. You clicked your truck into snow mode. You played with your trucks. You're in snow mode. Journey's on. You know? Feel my eyes. Uh-oh. He's in snow mode. That double vision. Yep, he is. No surprise. Uh-oh. He's going to hit that snowbank at, according to his speedometer, 75 miles an hour. And that double vision. Ooh. I got an idea. Let's write double vision again in this song. That'll be good. Will they listen? Of course. They gonna listen to everything we write. Okay, but what if out of the browser to pop up? No. I hope it's still. I think it's still on. I can't tell now. You got to tell that boy that I'm doing a show. You got to tell that boy. All right, I'm gonna call my son because I don't know if this is on or not, and I'll be right back on. So stay tuned right after this break.